select the Spark pool that you have and go ahead and run all. Or you can click on that tab and it will run. It might take a few seconds if your Spark needs to start up. It will take um, maybe 30 seconds or 1 or 2 minutes to run. Let's go ahead and run it. And as soon as the results, we can start exploring the results. As that completes, the command actually executed, right? So our Spark pool was able to run our session, and you can see the output here, right? So you can see the output table that we have displayed right here. So let's go ahead and kind of do some prepping on that data frame. So go ahead and add a new cell, and you will be able to add that cell with the add cell button either on the left hand side. Depending on the version, you can click on add cell or click on the little plus button, or there's a cell add option at the top. Let's go ahead and add the cell that we want. What we want to do is add some additional code here. So we want to go ahead and paste that code into the next cell. What we want to do is really, the data frame contains some extra columns we don't need. So let's go ahead and remove the unwanted columns and kind of get a clean version of the data frame. So that's what we are doing here. We're taking our data frame and we're taking those columns and we're removing the unwanted columns. So we're actually subtracting it. So let's go ahead and run that. And we can see the output that is displayed here. So it's actually a little bit cleaner for us and removing anything that we don't need. So you will see that. And let's go ahead and run a count on that. We should see our count, and you will see the count right here. So that's great. So we are doing well here. So let's go ahead and run our next snippet of code that we want here. What we are doing is we want to use the preferred products column array and the products reviews column array for each user and create a graph of products that are basically their preferred list that match with the products that they have reviewed. To do this, we really need to create a new data frame that contains the flattened values for the two columns. So that's what we are going to be doing here. So you can see here we are flattening with our explode that we looked at in one of our previous steps. So let's go ahead and run that. And here we go. We have flattened out. You can see we have taken the products reviews. So you can actually see it flat here. Our data frame, and we're just looking at it, just a glimpse of it. Now let's go ahead and take a look at, just do a display on the flat data frame, and we can take a look at that. So you can see here is the user ID and the product ID that we actually need, which we're going to be using as we move forward. So that's great. So we have our information that we need. So let's go ahead and do a query and just do a select for the user ID, the product ID, and the review text. And we're going to order it by user ID and take a look at what we get in our output. And let's go ahead. So here is the information that we were looking at. We needed to kind of further flatten the product review. So we got that done and we created. Now we have the user ID, product ID, and the review text, and we are taking a look at it. So in the final step, what we want to do is really bring everything together. We have our products, preferred product reviews data frame, and product reviews data frames on the user ID and the product ID. So we want to actually join them together here. So that's what we're doing here. So let's go ahead and join them. And there we go. We are able to join product reviews with the user ID and product ID, and we're able to get the user ID, product ID, and their reviews combined and we have the actual preferred products reviews output here. So this is great. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to